So, hey guys, welcome to our Team Perseverance team call. It is, holy cow, October 10th, and we're heading into the last quarter of the year. It's crazy to think we're heading up in the last quarter, and I'm really excited about this call with Josh coming on. But before we get to that, I want to welcome any new coaches that are on or watching the recording. This is a time for us to come together to go over news, announcements, recognition. We do training. Sometimes we have guest speakers like we do tonight. And I want to welcome you to the team and let you know that, you're in good hands, and we're really excited about what the future holds for you, for your family, and for your goals. For any new coaches that don't know me, my name is David Atkins. I'm the founding coach of Team Perseverance and one of your upline Star Diamonds, because we have a handful of us. And we've been at it doing these calls for like 9 years. Absolutely crazy, guys. I'm mind-blowing, but here we are. And I'm really excited with what's going on with leadership and many other things. But we're going to do things a little bit reverse because we have Josh tonight on this call has taken the time to speak to us. We're going to go over kind of the recognition, the news, the raffle that we're going to be doing from last month and this month, and a couple other things after Josh speaks. So we're going to do that again, go through the PowerPoint after. So I'm not going to waste any more time, but without further ado, I want to introduce you to Josh. He is a member of the John Maxwell team, and you guys know that John Maxwell, I pretty much have read every one of his books ever, even the most recent one about network marketing. And I know Michelle Broder grabbed it. But I will say, for those first 2 years of my business, when I was static, stuck at Diamond, I didn't do PD. And then John Maxwell came in my life speaking at Summit, God knows how many years ago. And that's what grew me to elite and grew our business to where it is today. So Josh is a member of the John Maxwell team who specializes in putting personal development into language that network marketers can understand. He has trained thousands in training groups, helping people every month to increase their focus, motivation, sales, and income. And Josh has mentored one-on-one over 10 top 10 coaches in Superstar Diamond. And for those of you that have been coaches even a little while, Josh all over the network, and I always hear great things about him. So Josh is the #1 best-selling author of F Leadership and the host of your Push Coach podcast, if you're not subscribed to that. And Josh's message will leave you inspired and ready to work towards your dreams. And I think this end of the year quarter, there's no better time than Josh speaking. Josh, thank you so much for coming on the call, brother. And it's great to have you on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Dave. I really appreciate it. Can you do me the biggest favor in the world? I hate to come on and be a diva right away. Could you do me a huge favor and hit that mute all button if you haven't already, and then I'll unmute myself? A couple of people popping in and I think garage doors and stuff. There you go. Got it. Perfect. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate that. I have a little minor like ADHD, nothing that's actually clinical. I've just always joked that like if there's noise, I wish so bad we could keep everyone unmuted because I really, 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 really love the feedback and the energy like back and forth. I love that. But as you guys know, with 21 people on here, that means there's like 32 kids in the background, 7 dogs, and like 4 cats. So like we got to like mute things, which is no fun. But let me say that because of that, I have something I like to do in my personal training groups where everyone knows this, and I like to introduce this when I come on team calls. Because of the fact that people are muted, I grew up in a church that was like, we were like a little bit rowdy in the church that we grew up with. Okay, it was like always like interaction. So I'm going to ask you to do is if you hear something tonight that you really appreciate, that really moves you, that really speaks to you, I'm going to ask you to do something. It's a little cheesy. I don't care. That's how we do things. I want you to show me some jazz fingers. Can you show me some jazz fingers? Okay. That's how you let me know. All right, dude, I needed to hear that. That was some good stuff. So Dave, thanks for letting me come on. I appreciate it so much. It's always an honor. I always say that I have the easiest job in the world because someone like Dave, someone like you has to show up every single day and be there for people day in, day out, and build up that network and build up that community and build up that team culture. And I kind of just get to show up and hang out for an hour and do my thing and then peace out. And then I leave Dave to do all of the damage control of everything that I get everyone excited to go do tonight. Dave's the one that's got to follow up through that. So I am always so appreciative of all of the leaders in Beachbody and any other company that I work with, of the time and energy and effort that it goes into leadership. As you will see if you go buy my new book, it's just 99 cents right now on Amazon if you just search my name, Josh Coates. Kind of the whole point of the book was, I really feel like leadership has become this word that we've taken so far out of context that nobody thinks they can do it. We've taken the word leadership and we've put it on a pedestal. And even though John Maxwell has never done that in his books, sometimes just because you see that there's 75 books written on leadership, you think, well, geez, there must be a lot to learn. And in reality, if you just open up the book and actually read it, you would see that it's a lot of simple things. It's a lot of nitty gritty, hard working in the trenches kind of stuff. But if you didn't take the time to actually read the book, here's what people do. You follow all of your people that you look up to, people you hear on the National Wake Up Call. What do? You immediately go follow them on Instagram. You immediately watch all of their stories, and you immediately see the celebrity side of leaders, and you start comparing your journey to their celebrity lifestyle. And you start thinking you can't be a leader because you don't have what they have, not realizing that when they started off, they were just like you. They were just people that put in the work and time and energy long enough to become that person that we now recognize as a celebrity. But the celebrity part of them is not what makes them a leader. If anything, it was the leadership part of them that developed them into an eventual celebrity. So that's kind of the whole point of the book. And tonight I'm going to talk to you about how to put in the work it takes to become that leader, how to put in the work it takes to become that celebrity. It's not my favorite word in the world, but like, let's be real, that's what happens, right? I mean, go to Beachbody Summit and you'll find people running around going crazy, asking to get their pictures taken with people. That's basically the definition of celebrity, okay? So how do we get there? We put in the work, okay? So just to give you a little background of where this came from, beginning of 2017, I just helped someone go top 10 in 2016, someone in 2015, I helped someone go top 10, helped someone else in 2016. I'd helped at that point probably 30 or 40 people go elite. And I'm sitting around and I'm evaluating my business and I'm asking myself, how do I help more people? Now, for all of my leaders on the call, let me give you something very distinguishing that you need to understand. I'm constantly asking myself, how could I help more people get better results? But I use that simply to measure progress and to become the best version of myself. I do not use it as some type of a measurement of my self-worth or my value as a leader. And there's a really, 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 really big difference. The comparison game is a real thing, especially in tight-knit communities like this. And another thing that's a real thing that I hear from leaders all the time is taking way too much credit for other people's failures, okay? You cannot wear the guilt of other people's lack of success because you can't make anybody succeed. So for me as a leader, I'm constantly asking myself, is there more I could do to help people succeed? But I'm not wearing that somehow on my sleeve as it was my fault that they didn't succeed. I just want to know if there's more I could do. And so I'm sitting around in 2017 and I'm asking myself that. And I start kind of in my head, just kind of comparing the different people that have had success working with me one-on-one, working with me in training groups. And I will just tell you, as a leader, just as any other leader in the world would tell you, I got 10 times the amount of people that have failed working with me than I have that have succeeded. And by that, I mean, I've got 10 times the amount of people that pay me money that don't give me a testimonial because they don't really ever do anything. Okay. And that's real. That's real with you talk to the best leader, you talk to the number, you talk to 1 through 10 girls that hit top 10 this year. You say, how many girls in your downline don't even show up in the team page or team calls? They'll say, well, honestly, like 90% of them. Well, that's part of being a leader is you got to get used to that. Okay. But I'm asking myself, this 10% that saw incredible results, went top 10, went elite, whatever it was there something different about them? Was there something different about maybe the process that we went through together? Was there something different about maybe the expectations? Like I'm just trying to dissect it all and figure it out. And finally, I realized there's only one thing I could think of that they all had in common. All of the people that saw extreme success working with me, whether it be one-on-one or in some type of a group training, were people that came in with this one word I'm going to teach you tonight that I swear if you'll lean into it and grab a hold of it, it'll change your life forever. You ready for it? You guys ready for the word? I want you to write it down in all caps. I want you to highlight it in 7 different colors, and I want you to underline it like 9 times, okay? The word is urgency. Urgency will change your life forever. These girls came to me, and usually on the first calls would literally be in tears and say something like, Josh, I have something that I want to do so bad. And to be honest, I don't even know if it's possible. Sometimes their friends had told them it wasn't possible. Sometimes their upline had told them it wasn't possible. Sometimes their corporate mentor told them it wasn't possible. They said, I don't know if it's possible, but I just want to do it so bad. And every single time I look them right back in the eyes and say, we can do this. We can do this. Because to me, the fact that you had the guts to say it out loud, I'm ready to go with you. Like, let's do this thing. The problem is the other 90%, let me tell you what they did. They had something they really wanted to do, but they weren't brave enough to say it out loud. And so they settled for something they thought they could do. They settled for something they thought was a little bit more realistic and attainable. I don't know how many of you guys are into SMART goals, but they're kind of my worst enemy. I don't believe in chasing. If I got one life to live, I don't believe in chasing after anything that sounds realistic. Because if that's the goal of life, I don't know how many of you are sports fans. I throw in some sports analogies here and there. The commentators will sit around and literally, if the games are on Saturday, they start Sunday. We'll show highlights from Saturday. And then on Monday, they start discussing the next week's games. And they spend 6 days arguing over who they think's going to win. Well, this quarterback always plays this way against this defense. And this defense responds this way. But I love. You go and talk to the coaches about it and ask the coaches what they think about the upcoming game. And the coaches say, you don't know anything until you get on the field. That's why we got to play the game. Nobody actually knows what's possible until you get on the field and try to make something happen. And what happens with a lot of people, 90% of people aren't willing to bet on themselves. So instead, they just settle for something realistic. They settle for something attainable. And if that's the way we're going to do life, what's the point of even showing up for the game if we've already determined who wins and who loses? In other words, if you've already calculated on your little calculator app that if you keep going at the same rate you're going, you'll grow by 10% every single year for the next 50 years, what's the point of even doing life if we already have it figured out? What's the point? Is there anyone on this call that says, Josh, being an entrepreneur is hard? A, I got to get over my fear of rejection to go talk to people on a regular basis. B, I got to get over my fear of failure because we're all scared to death of failing and falling short, especially in the society we've grown up with, right? C, I'm afraid of success because of all of the responsibility that comes with that. D, I'm afraid I'm going to let people down. E, I mean, we could make up a list as long as your books could hold of all of the challenges we face day to day as an entrepreneur. Would you guys agree with that statement? Who in their right mind is willing to battle through all of those limiting beliefs, all of those fears, all of those discomfort zones to grow 10%? I don't know about you, but I don't want to grow 10% that bad. Now, if you tell me I can change my life forever and I can change the lives of other humans in the process, now it's worth it. If you say that I could come home from detailing cars, a job that I did for 9.5 years that ate my soul for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, no paid vacation, no paid sick time. I worked sick all the time because I didn't have a choice. You tell me I could walk away from a job like that to do the thing I love for a living? Now we're talking. Now I'm willing to go through some stuff. See, your problem is that you don't have a goal big enough to force you into any type of action. So no wonder you bail out when it gets hard. Ain't nobody in their right mind willing to get punched in the face over and over and over to get a piece of candy. Now, offer somebody $20 million and they'll hop in the ring with some of the fiercest fighters there's ever been and risk dying in the ring if you offer them enough money. And I'm not saying that everything in life is about money, but everything in life is about some type of a reward, or what are we doing? And so you got to define what that reward is for you, and it's got to be big enough to be willing to go fight a battle. And I believe urgency does that. So here's how I help people get urgency. Can you guys do me like the biggest favor ever and not judge me tonight? Because I promise I had my Shakeology, but I'm also dealing with being sick. My book went #1 best-selling on Amazon last weekend, but it was a whole lot of energy. And it's, yes, thank you. There's so much work, so much energy and effort. I'm going to be super honest with you guys. I overdid it. And I woke up super sick this morning, and this is the first coffee I've had today. And yes, it's some sugary Frappuccino from Panera that I ordered on Uber Eats. But this is the first time I've been dressed today to come spend time with you guys, because I really, really, really don't like to break my commitments when a group has given up an evening to spend with me. So can you not judge me for drinking this whipped cream frap? Is that okay? All right, thank you. I always say that no one deserves an uncaffeinated push coach. So like I try to have a little caffeine by my side when people's lives are on the lines, okay? So here's what I want to do to help you create urgency. #1 is I want you to just take a second while we're hanging out here. And I want you to write down something incredibly significant, whether it be an amount of money or whether it be a life event, like being able to quit a job or bring someone else home from a job or paying for a college tuition, whatever that is. I want you to write down something on a piece of paper or in your notes on your iPhone, something incredibly significant that you say, Josh, if someone could promise me that this would happen in my life, I'd be willing to show up every single day. I'd be willing to send as many invites as Dave told me to. I'd be willing to share before and after pictures. I'd be willing to basically go to battle with my limiting beliefs if someone could promise me that I'd get this thing. I want you to write it down. Write it down. And then after you write it down, I'd like to see it in the comments over here, because I'd just like to see some of the answers that we got. $10,000 a week. That's a great one. I like that. What would be something you would be willing to fight for? Doesn't have to sound like anybody else's answer. It just needs to be the thing that you would hop in the ring and get punched in the face for. Watch my girls walk stage as elite coaches with me. I love that, Mel. What else we got? Don't be afraid. Some of you might say $100 a week. And if that's the thing that you really need in your life right now, that's okay. Okay. There is no wrong answer. This is what's going to motivate and fuel you. When I first started my business, I wasn't trying to have a 7-figure year. I just wanted to walk away from my job detailing cars. I was okay with being poor for the rest of my life at that point, as long as it meant I got to do the thing that I loved. Okay. Able to choose a job that I want to do, leave my job. It's killing me. Family vacation every year. Matt be home. Love that. Pay off all debt. Both of us retired. Pay off mortgage in college. Pay off my house. Pay off debt and have kids' college. Freedom to travel the world. See, these are wonderful answers. How many of you say just writing that stuff down? Like I feel something in my soul, man. Like I could yeah, like I could get excited about that. Like that's something. If I could do that thing right there, okay, all of a sudden, posting on my stories 8 times a day isn't that big of a deal. All of a sudden, getting vulnerable on social media about what I've had to fight through and who I've become in the process, not that big of a deal. See, just to give you a little piece of my story, I've been detailing cars 9.5 years, all through my 20s, had 3 kids, and traveled on the weekends playing in a Christian rock band. I knew I wanted to make a difference. I knew I wanted to do something with my life. I knew there was something bigger than just detailing cars, obviously. But I wasn't finding it. I didn't know how to get there. Didn't have a clue. Didn't have a game plan. Didn't have anything. What I did have was a lot of frustration. Christmas after Christmas, buying maybe $100 worth of Christmas presents for all 3 kids combined, and thinking that that was like a big deal, and then being worried that I was going to have to take off work to spend Christmas Day with my kids, and I was going to have to make up that time because we didn't get paid to take time off. When everyone else was celebrating being home with their family, I was actually pissed about being home with my family because all I could think about was how many Saturdays I was going to have to work to make up for it. My story was watching the bank account go negative about every single week right before payday came through. We'd have to live negative for 4 weeks. And when your bank account's negative, you can't really buy anything. I remember kids bringing home birthday invitations and not like intentionally hiding them or anything, but also knowing in a house with that many kids, if you just don't do anything with it at all, eventually it'll get buried under something. And I would let it get buried instead of marking it on the calendar because I knew I couldn't afford to buy their friend a birthday present. And what kind of a life is that to give your kids? How can you even be proud of that? It's not to say my life was miserable. I was a happy person. I'm a very optimistic person. I'm someone who wakes up every single day and somehow, no matter how hard I get hit, no matter how many times I fall, I just have a way of getting back up and believing that something good can eventually happen. I was a happy person, but very frustrated. So when I found personal development and I fell in love with it, and I found the John Maxwell team, I just want you to hear this from me, that I've been through this, because I think sometimes we think people that are really successful have multi-6-figure or 7-figure businesses, like somehow it was like never hard for them. And I want you to hear it was really hard. In fact, it was so hard that in my entire first year as a life coach, I sold 2 packages and I made $500 total dollars. Signed 2 clients, guys, in a whole 12 months. With training and mentoring from the #1 leadership trainer on the planet. I like to joke that there was probably some conversations going around. Not that they would have even known my name, but I like to joke that they were sitting around, this Josh Coates guy, I don't really know if we want him wearing our name or not. Like, is there a kind and polite and Christian way to tell Josh he sucks and get out of here? Like, is that possible? Like, I don't know. 2 clients, guys, in a full year. What I'm saying is I didn't even hit Success Club for the year, more or less, for the month. Anyone ever had a rough start? Anyone ever felt like you're putting in the work and it's just not paying off? But I had this universal principle that I believed in that says what you sow is what you reap. And I put all of my hope and all of my trust in the world in this one universal principle that basically just said, if you put in enough seed into the ground, eventually something has to grow. And John Maxwell taught me the law of the lid, which says you'll never be more successful than your ability to lead other people. And so what that means is I'm in control. I'm in control. And so what I realized is if my business isn't growing, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. This is technically supposed to be the 3rd point. I'll come back to it in a little bit. What I realized is if my business isn't growing, it's not anyone else's fault but mine. Now, let me say again that I don't wear that as guilt or shame. I wear it as a measuring stick to constantly improve myself, to find a way to get solutions. So when you have something like this that you're fighting for, let me just show you the difference. How many of you're like, dude, if I had to like wake up in the morning and do some stuff that I'm uncomfortable with, do some stuff that's hard, I'll be real honest. Sometimes getting recognized on a Success Club board isn't quite enough to push me over the edge. But you tell me that I'm fighting for one of these things, like paying off my house or paying off my debt or the freedom to travel, let's go. Notice how your demeanor changes. Notice how your tenacity changes. Now, I want you to be on the Success Club leaderboard, but I want you to be fueled by the thing you said over there. And in fact, I'm going to tell you something that you're not going to like. If you really cared enough about your family to do the things you said over there in that chat, you would lead the SC board every single month because you would be fueled and fired by something that mattered to you so much. You would get out there and you would fight for it, and Success Club would be nothing. That'd just be something that would just happen. In fact, I'm going to tell you what I challenge people in my groups to do. If you have something you really want to fight for, that you really believe in, that you really want to do for your family, you shouldn't be trying to hit Success Club 5 per month. You should be trying to hit Success Club 5 per week. And now you probably understand my hashtag that I wear on my wrist every single day that says, let's puke together. Now, I don't mean that literally. Obviously, I put myself in a rough spot this week and almost went there literally. That was not smart, let me just tell you. And I'll teach you how to avoid that, okay? I didn't follow my own advice this week. I got a little too caught up in the book launch. It paid off, but I got a little overboard, and I'm going to teach you how to not do that for you, okay? But Let's Puke Together is because I started challenging people to write down goals that actually meant something to them, and then to come up with responding actions based on what they really wanted. In other words, would you really have it your goal to just go diamond in the next 9 months if you really were trying to bring someone home from their job? Nah, you'd be like, I got to get to diamond like next month. Would you really have it a goal to go elite? I don't know, maybe sometime next year or the year after. Nah, you'd be like, I got to go elite now. When you know what you're fighting for, all of a sudden, here's what you have to do, or you're not really fighting for it, is you have to decide that there's something this month and this week that you're going to do to go to a higher level than you've ever been before. So in my second year, after having that horrible first year, I started writing the number 10 at the top of the calendar saying, I'm going to find a way to sign 10 clients this month. How does a guy who signed 2 clients in 1 year sign 10 clients in 1 month? I'm about to teach you. He becomes incredibly urgent about what he wants, and he puts something right in front of his face to where you can't avoid it or put it off. When you have a goal that's smack dab in the middle of your face, like, I'm going to go diamond by the end of this month, or I'm going to hit Success Club 20 this month. Notice if you're thinking about that, you already feel like puking. Am I right? Am I right? You already feel the vomit coming on, like, oh my God. That's why I started saying, well, let's puke together. I don't care. That's fine. If that's what we got to do, then that's what we got to do. All of a sudden, everything changes. I'm going to tell you 3 specific things that urgency changes. It will change your life. Number 1, urgency creates focus. Write that down, please. Number 1, urgency creates focus. And you'll see real fast why I got sick this week, because I wasn't following my own advice. Generally speaking, when you have the right amount of urgency, it forces you to focus on the right things, and all of the wrong things you've been wasting your time on kind of just get lost. You forget about them. If I challenge every single person on this call, I want you to show me over here in the comments your answer to this. If I challenge every single one of you to make 5 sales before you went to bed tonight, show me over here in the comments what specific activities you would do from now until bedtime. What would you do? Go ahead and show me. What would you do? Inviting and following up fast. I like the all caps there. That's my language. What would you do if you had to make 5 sales? Invite and follow up. Come on. Reach out to everyone I've ever talked to. Follow up. Follow up on invites, old invites, new invites for regular followers. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I want to hear your game plan to make 5 sales before you go to bed. Follow up and invite with everyone. Call all my top people who said they need a change. Ooh, I like that. That sounds like urgency, reaching out to urgency. I like it. Invite everyone and follow up. Call my old clients. Now, I want you guys to notice something here. Some of you are afraid to comment. You're like, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Or maybe you're like, he's going to make me do it if I say it. We're not actually doing this challenge tonight. It's not actually going down. I just want to prove a point. And my point is this. If I challenge you with something big enough, it forces you to go do the only thing you know to do that would get those kind of results. And yet, on 220 plus team calls that I've spoken on, I have collected these stats that say that only about 10% of people on the team call, not even in the team page, on the team call, which is these are the committed people, these are the crazies, these are the people who bleed blue. Only 10% of you Do invites 5 days a week. It's going to let that silence just. Only 10% of you do invites 5 days a week. Everyone on this call knows which activity they should do if they were going to try to make 5 sales. And yet that's not the activity anyone does. Do you know why? Because it wasn't your goal to make 5 sales tonight. It was your goal to make 3 sales this month. We constantly, please remember this, okay? I make myself think about this every time I come up with a goal, every time I come up with a marketing strategy. We constantly underestimate how much work and energy and effort it will take to reach a goal. We underestimate. And that's my biggest problem with having a realistic goal, is if it's realistic, you'll come up with a realistic game plan to get there, and your realistic game plan won't cut it. Well, I'll just, if I want to make 3 sales this month, I probably need to talk to like 10 people. Yeah, here's the problem with that is 7 of those people aren't even going to respond. One of those people will say, new phone, who dis? One of those people will say, why are you messaging me? Don't you know that that's like gross? And like, I just want you to know that if I were going to build a business like this, which I would never do, I would never just cold message. They'll say something stupid because they're kind of like what I like to joke about the media. The media shows up for all of the games and just criticizes everyone who plays, but they can't play anymore or never could. There's a lot of critics in life. 1 out of those 10 people will respond and say, that sounds kind of interesting. Tell me more. And I'll just tell you right now, for every probably 5 to 10 people that say they're interested, you'll make 1 sale. Not for every 10 people that you message, for every 5 to 10 people that say they're interested. And we just said that it takes 10 messages to get 1 person to say they're interested. So how many conversations do you have to make a sale? You do the math, but it's more than 10. But you in your head said, I'm going to make 3 sales this month. So you're like, I was listening to a podcast and it was talking about like completely redoing your Instagram page to where all of the pictures got the same filter and the same color. And when you go to it, it looks like a pretty magazine. I'm going to spend my first week on that because, like preparation is key. So before I go talk to anyone, I need to make sure that there's a nice, pretty Instagram page for them to look at when they get my message. You spend a week. Could have made 3 sales already, but instead you just have a pretty Instagram that nobody's watching or seeing or looking at. 90% of you got like 30 likes per post. Nobody's even seeing your Instagram. What are you spending all your time fixing your Instagram page for? Now, if you want to make that a long-term goal, over time, I'm going to work on this. That's fine. But I'm just going to tell you, it will not make you 3 sales this month to have a pretty Instagram. You don't have 70,000 followers, okay? So nobody's even looking at your Instagram, okay? Second of all, your filter, not that great. Nobody cares that much about your filter because your filter didn't magically make someone go, oh, wow, what a pretty filter. I bet they sell challenge packs. I think I'll just reach out to them real quick and see, maybe I have been thinking about a meal replacement shake and I bet they have a real good quality one based on that filter. Do you see how stupid we are sometimes to think? Now, in our heads, we convince ourselves that we're doing the real work of a business owner to prepare things first. But I'm just going to tell you right now, you don't have a business if you don't have sales. You don't even have business. Don't even have one. All you have is an Instagram page. Awesome. So does my 11-year-old. And he posts more often than you do and probably has more followers than you do, but he's not stupid enough to think that should get him paid. All right? The real work is getting new customers. And let me just tell you, you don't need to fix your onboarding process either if you don't got no new customers. You don't need a new logo if you don't have any customers and you don't need a website. Guys, I made, I think, my first $30,000 month 3.5 years ago with 0 websites. At some point, I was like, sending out 150 invoices a month is a little ridiculous. I should probably get a website where people can just go purchase. Do you know why I didn't have a website? Because year 1, when I only made $500, I was doing all the stupid shit I just talked to you about, wasting all of the time and money and energy in the world trying to make it look like I had a business. And in year 2, I went, wait a second, maybe I should just do the things that actually get me a business. And in year 2, I committed my time and energy to talking to people, making a post a day, which I took 5 minutes to do, not 75 years making a hip hop video, just 5 minutes. Talked to people, made a post, did personal development. That's how easy business became. And I realized I don't need a YouTube channel right now. I don't need a website right now. I don't need a logo right now. I don't need an LLC right now. The only thing I need to do is talk to humans and get customers. And that's how I signed 10 new clients a month as a life coach. And you can talk to any life coach on the planet, with the exception of someone like Tony Robbins. There ain't a single life coach on the planet signing 10 new clients per month. I was signing so many clients per month, I had to launch my virtual training groups because I ran out of one-on-one slots for people. Because I was willing to do the right thing, my business took off so fast that it forced me to have to figure out all the other stuff. I needed a website, so I made one. I now needed a logo, so I paid to have one made. But guess what? I had the money to pay for one. I now needed a new laptop, so I went and got one. Notice I did the work that created the money and created the needs, and I did things as I needed them, not to try to pretend I had some business when I didn't. So urgency creates focus like you've never had before. It shouldn't cause you to work more hours. If anything, it should cause you to work less. Okay? Now, I'll tell you, I didn't live by my own principle this last week. And one of the reasons for that is because I thought my book didn't come out until this Wednesday. And then my publishers messaged me Friday and were like, hey, we got everything good to go. Do you want us to go ahead and submit this thing? And I was just like, this is like 5 days early. But I mean, I guess everyone's waiting for the book. Just go ahead and submit it. And right then and there, I found out that my weekend off that was supposed to spend resting and recovering for Monday turned into my book launch. And I worked all weekend long. We went number 1 on day 1, and then I felt the pressure to keep it there. So all weekend long, when I'm normally resting and recovering, I was working 12 hours, keeping up with the charts and messaging everybody. And you know what I did? I lost my own focus. And that'll make you sick. And if you do it for too long, it'll kill you, which is why it's very important sometimes when you get sick to listen to your body and go, that was really stupid, Josh. Don't do that again. Take a break this weekend and let your publishers do their job. Okay? My goal is not to get anyone working all day and night. My goal is to get you to set a goal big enough that you'll wake up and fight for, instead of laying in bed all day checking your notifications. See the difference? Number 2, urgency breeds creativity. Urgency breeds creativity. How many of you have been on the national wake-up call? How many of you have been on a training? How many of you went to an event and someone said something where you were like, oh my God, that is the best idea I've ever heard in my life. That would change my entire business if I just did that. And you go home or get off the call and you go all in on it for a full 10 days. And then you're like, man, that was really hard. This isn't working. You gave up on it. Let me tell you why you gave up on it. Because your goal wasn't urgent enough to force you to need a new skill. In year 2, after doing $500 my first year, made $48,000 my second year part-time. I was listening to this crazy book by Grant Cardone called The 10X Rule that I still love. One of my favorite books in the world. And he says, put a 0 on that, man. And I'm going, well, I did make $40,000 as a detailer. So year 3, my first full-time year as a life coach, I'm going to try to make $400,000. Do you know how crazy it is for a 31-year-old who makes $40,000 a year to say that out loud that he's going to try to make $400,000? This is a kid who all through his 20s couldn't even afford to buy his own kids a Christmas present. And now he's going to try to make almost $500,000 in a year. Here's what it did. Again, even more focus. But then I found this thing called creativity. When I was doing all the things I knew to do and it still wasn't getting me results quite as fast as I needed it to, I heard Chalene Johnson mention Facebook ads. And this was at an event where she was actually talking about Periscope. She was trying to get everyone to buy into Periscope. You guys remember those days? Periscope came and went in like 4 months. It is gone. But here's the thing. I'm going to tell you what happens. I believe in this thing called infinite intelligence, is what Napoleon Hill calls it. I call it God. You can call it whatever you want. It doesn't really matter to me what you call it, but I do believe there's something in our heart of hearts that speaks to us and that knows things above and beyond what our brain can really comprehend. And Chalene Johnson says, I spend more money on Facebook ads than any other thing that I do. It's the biggest return on investment. And if they would let me spend more, I would. I said, I don't know what Facebook ads is or does, but based on what she just said, there was something in me that said, I got to have that. Now I want you to notice, she was talking about Periscope, but I was listening to my heart. Too many times you guys are chasing anything and everything that someone successful says because you're not secure enough to trust your own heart. You go chasing after everyone else's success and what does and doesn't work for them. I'm going to tell you right now, mentoring 10 plus top 10s, one of the number one lessons I've learned is a whole bunch of people have success a whole bunch of different ways, because there's a lot of different kinds of people with different talents, strengths, and weaknesses, and they do it different ways. You got to listen to your heart. So I went home and I said, I got to figure out this Facebook ads thing. I spent 6 months, not 10 days, 6 months spending 1 hour per night at the end of the day. This is after I'd done my checklist, okay? So after I did my to-do list, I made creative time at night to work on a new skill that I need to develop. 6 months later, my Facebook ads were just taking over the news feed. Now I'm going to tell you, for the first 3 months, it felt like rocket science. Got an ads manager with all these different targeting options and this and that and this and that. But 6 months later, I was taking over the news feed. And by December 31st, my monthly webinars that I was using Facebook ads to promote were generating sometimes as much as $30,000 or $40,000 on one weekend. And on December 31st of 2000, what was that? 16, 16, I hit $400,001. I hit my goal. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So from $500 to $48,000 to $400,000. And it's grown since then. All because I had a goal that was big enough, it forced me to learn new things. What would you be forced to learn if your goal was big enough? Third thing I want to bring up, last one I want to close out with. Urgency demands ownership. I'm going to teach you ownership with one very simple analogy that everyone can relate to. I want you to pretend you've gone out for the night, maybe on a date night, maybe just to Target to go on a shopping spree, try on some new clothes while you're picking up some orange juice. But the kids are at home, and on your way home, you see smoke coming up from your neighborhood. And as you get into your neighborhood, you see it's coming from your street. And as you get to your street, you realize it's your house. Your house is on fire and your loved ones are home. So you drive up the street as fast as you can. You jump the curb straight into the grass. You jump out of your car and you are sprinting to the house in your heels as fast as you can, because all you know is house is on fire. And for all you know, the kids are inside. You don't know any different, correct? You get up to the door and you realize, A, it's locked. B, you have no idea where your keys went. Maybe they're in the bottom of your purse. Maybe they flew out of the car when you jumped. You have no idea. All you know is door locked, house on fire, kids inside. Now, how many of you are like me? And you do not care what it takes. You kick down that door. You punch through a window, fall through a chimney. You do whatever you got to do to get inside, correct? And if you get that door open and you don't see them and the whole house is on fire, you don't care. You are running into those flames to find your kids, correct? And let me ask you this. What if the same situation happened, but with no kids and no fire? What if you just came home from Target and realized you were locked out of your house and can't find your keys? Do you still kick down the door? You still punch through a window and risk having to go to the urgent care and get your hand stitched up tonight? Or do you just go sit down in your car, order a locksmith the quickest and easiest way you can do it without having to actually call and talk to somebody? We order a locksmith, correct? Now, here's what's crazy to me. I'm going to scroll back up to my notes. Here's what's crazy to me. I hear things like this on call after call after call. Both me and my husband could leave our jobs for freedom. Matt would be home, no longer being beat up by commuting each day. I will support us all. Pay off debt. Both of us retired and full-time coaches, being home for our daughters, traveling the world, pay off mortgage in college, pay off my house, pay off debt, have my kids' college funds. Freedom to travel with my husband. My husband can quit his second full-time job. $1,000 a week, multiple family vacations, spend enough family time with my family, seeing money in my bank account, follow up, like all of these things make it sound to me like the house is on fire. We got spouses at jobs they don't want to be at. Some of us at jobs we don't want to be at. Kids with college debt they don't know how to pay for. Vacations and experiences we want to have with our family so we can't afford to do. It sounds to me like there's a whole lot of houses on fire, just like mine was. And we got a whole lot of mommies and daddies sitting in the car, Googling nearby locksmiths. Every single one of you on this call have the ability to kick down the door, even if you don't have the how-to, even if you don't have the right guide or the right shoes or the right talents or the right skills. One of my new sayings is, I have all of the empathy in the world for your struggle, but I have zero sympathy for your excuse. Because I don't care if you're wearing your favorite heels, kick down the door. I don't care if you don't know how to talk to people. John Maxwell team had zero training on how to use social media. I just realized I had to kick down the door. And for me, social media was the way to talk to the most people in the least amount of time. So I kicked down the door. I made up a script. I copied and pasted it. It felt yucky. It felt gross. Didn't care. Felt grosser not to give my kids Christmas. You got to pick your heart, guys. I didn't care if I was going to end up in the ER because I punched through a window. When you know what's on the line, Grant Cardone says you have a moral and ethical obligation to success. I don't see my business as something that if I really feel like it, if I'm motivated this week. Anybody ever had a newborn baby? Wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, I don't know, not really motivated. Energize is like 7 steps away, so I'm just not really feeling that right now. Isn't it funny how our business is the thing we said could provide those things for our family, and we treat it like a hobby. I played music for many years, still own a lot of musical gear. In fact, I have much nicer gear now than I did back then when I was poor. But it's a hobby. Sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't. If I feel like it, if it benefits me, I pick up my guitar and play it. If it doesn't benefit me, I don't pick it up. That's a hobby. Too many of you got houses on fire, but you only pick up your business, meaning do the things that matter, like invites and follow-ups, when it feels good and benefits you. Because you've lost focus of who you're really fighting for. So my biggest challenge to you tonight is to remember who you're fighting for. Remember what you're fighting for. And if you're going to tell your kids, hey, mama, daddy, work in this business, I'm making sacrifices so that we can have a better life, you better follow through on that. You better actually do the kind of work it actually takes to say with integrity to your kids, mama, daddy, work in a business. Can you guys keep it down in the other room? I just need 1 hour to send out some invites, and then I promise I'll come play with you. A lot of you lying to your kids. Now, I love you to death, and that's why I'm willing to say it. I love you. I believe in you, and I care about you. But I care about you enough to bring to light the truth. That a lot of you are lying to a lot of people when you say you have a business, because you really don't. You have a hobby. And I just want to tell you, from one person who has failed more than probably any of you could even imagine, that anyone can do this if you care enough to kick down the door, bruise your heel a couple times, maybe break a foot. That's what success looks like. It looks like a whole lot of injuries on the way to getting the door kicked down. But Josh, I don't know how to invite. I didn't either. I don't really care. But Josh, I don't know which hashtags to use. I don't either. I don't really care. Josh, I don't know how to lead people. I don't know how to help them. I didn't either. I don't really care. All I know is if I kick hard enough, the door comes down. And if that means I got to figure out 100 things on the way, that's what I'm going to do. My biggest business strategy is ready, fire, aim. I don't aim. I fire and figure it out as I go. Or as my mentor on the John Maxwell team always said, jump and grow them wings on the way down. That's what success looks like. So that's all I have for you guys tonight, other than a couple gifts. Do you guys like gifts? Does anybody like gifts? I have a little bit of a gift for you, okay? Because my new book just came out, and I really, 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 really think that you're going to love it if you get your hands on it. I think that even if you just go read the free sample that Amazon offers you, I think you'll see immediately this is the kind of book that's, 1, going to challenge you, 2, encourage you, but 3, give you some serious systems to go put into place and use, okay? So currently during the soft launch for my book, I also found out this week, it's not on Audible because we just released it, okay? Audible won't come for a couple months. That's going to be another several weeks of recording, several weeks of getting edited, several weeks of all of that jazz, okay? So yes, just the digital version is available right now. You can get it for $1. $1, it's basically a gift. But I want to extend another gift to you guys, because I know we got some people hustling. I know we got some people working and fighting for things. And because of that, I have a group called the Push Mastermind. And the Push Mastermind is an ongoing accountability group. I basically call it the challenge group for your business. I go have a live call every single Monday where it's my goal to challenge you, encourage you, fill you, and light you full of belief so that you can go do the work that you need to do. But then we also have a tracker. And on the tracker, we give you the daily activities that it takes to actually grow a business, okay? This is very important because I have found that a lot of people hear a lot of things, but never put it together into a daily game plan. And so most of your daily game plans currently look like the latest thing you learned on a national wake-up call, but aren't an accumulative of all of the things you need to be doing on a daily basis. So I have a game plan that has personal development activities and business building activities. So you're going to be doing personal development every day. You're going to be doing affirmations every day. You're going to be writing down your goals every single day, planning out your day every single day, as well as expanding your network, having new conversations, doing invites, doing follow-ups, all the things you need to do. That's what we're going to have you do on a daily basis. Okay. Here's the cool thing. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Here's the really cool thing. We have the only what I call true accountability on the planet that exists. And by that, here's what I mean. On Sunday, we shut down the trackers. We calculate your numbers. And if you fall below 85% of the work you were supposed to do, we call you out in a post on Monday and tag you. And you get 48 hours to either make up your activities or get kicked out of the group for the month. Now that is true accountability. Okay? What you guys have in a lot of your challenge groups is more what I would call community, which is a form of accountability, and it's great and everyone needs it. But true accountability is if you don't do this, your ass is getting kicked out. That's true accountability. And that's what we provide in the Push Mastermind, okay? So yes, we fill you full of belief. Yes, we have some check-ins to kind of encourage you, evaluate, but more than anything in the world, it's about getting you to show up and do the work it actually takes, okay? It's an ongoing group, and you can sign up on subscription at $136 a month, or you can pay $679 to get 6 months up front, okay? But here's what I want to do. I want to give you guys something totally free, okay? I like to give this out on team calls because let's be real, this is the first time you've heard of me and you don't know if you're ready to commit to my system maybe for 30 days. So here's what I'm going to do. Anyone that purchases the book for $1, going to do this on a super, just going to trust you, okay? If you buy the book for $1, I'm going to give you a free trial month in the Push Mastermind where you can join us for 30 days, be a part of all the calls, all the check-ins. The only thing is on the trial month, we do not put you on the tracker, okay? So it kind of gives you a month to come in there, see what the tracker's like, be a part of the calls, see what this whole thing is about, and decide if you actually want to stick around. Does that make sense? And so I want to be super clear about this. It is a free trial, which means after 30 days, the $136 a month payment does kick in. So I just want people to know that. We ain't trying to trick nobody, okay? You sign up for the trial. You're going to put in your credit card information. If you hate the group, you do need to go cancel it or you will get charged, okay? But I'm betting my money on the fact that you ain't going to hate the group. You're going to love it. In fact, I think you'll have a relationship with me like I do with Sean T, which is a very love-hate relationship. I love to hate you and I hate to love you. And I just want to be that guy for your business. I want to be the guy that you hate to love and love to hate, okay? Because I make you do the work. So if you're someone who wants to do that, I'm going to grab you the link real quick. I got to pull it up from over here. Where are you? In this thread, right? There it is. Boom. Copy. And there is the link to go do the free trial month of the Push Mastermind, okay? So you fill out the information, and here in the next 48 hours, we'll get you added to the Facebook group. There's also a 1.5 years worth of training calls that I have done and guest speakers have done that you'll get access to right away, okay? So if you want to do that, just buy the book for $1. Again, on our system. If you buy it, I'm going to trust that you'll do that first, and then you'll go get the free trial. Dave, that's all I got. Thanks so much for letting me hang out with you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And team, I will post that link on the team page. Amazing truth bombs, Josh. Thank you. Thank you so much. Like,
more than welcome.
And I have people already private messaging me. They're going to jump on board with this. So thank you. I know your time is important, so I'm going to let you go. And team, we're going to get into the team announcements, so stay on. But Josh, thank you. Truly grateful. You rocked it. And we got your book. So we're excited.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Dave. I appreciate it. Thank you guys all. Have a great night.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, guys. So did everybody like that call? Anybody want to unmute themselves and give any feedback? Yeah, everybody's smiling like, holy moly. All right, because we're on an hour, I'm going to go right into just things I need to go over. Please stay on. I won't take long. We also have the raffle that Kristen's going to do. Yes? Okay, so let me go right through the slides that I have. So we had Josh. Team Perseverance website. Excuse me, if you have not signed up already and you are a new coach, go to our Team Perseverance Facebook page and search for the sign up for the team website, because on this website is all the training possible that you need. And I'll be honest, this is probably not where you want to go as a new coach, but if you're somebody that's been around a while and need more things or training on a certain topic, it's here. But I'll tell you, after listening to Josh Coach's call, it seems like we all know what we need to do, and it seems like invite and follow up if we want to grow the business. Also, to get text messaging, I text everybody today reminding them of the call. If you'd like to opt in for that, please, at this phone number, text the email address that you use to sign up for the team website. You have to be a member of the team website first, and then text that email address right here. Okay, for new coaches, you may be asking, what do you do now? So, guys, some things have been changed. Actually, everything has been changed. There is no longer the 30-day Coach Basics training. We have phased that out. The new training that Beachbody has come out, it's in your back office under the training tab, under getting started, is very simple, 5 short videos totaling like 20 minutes. You could have watched them 3 times already in the time you listened to Josh. But to get access to it, to keep it simple, if you go to our Team Perseverance, our page, on the top, pinned to the top is the announcement welcoming new coaches. And there's a link that will take you to all of the videos. I put all the videos on one page for anybody to use or share. So you want to watch the videos and you want to get in a challenge group. That's it. Let's not overcomplicate it, okay? Monday, National Wake Up Call this past week was actually my boy, personal good friend, success partner, Scotty Hobbs, who absolutely killed it. And guys, the big thing that I took away from the call, if you guys did not watch it, and Kristen brought it up today in some of our private threads, Scotty collects stories. He collects success stories all the time, and he is constantly sharing them all the time on his Instagram, on his Facebook, because he said that people see you all the time, but they need to see what other people that you're connected with, other results. They need to hear the same thing from somebody else. They need to see or get that FOMO of what you're a part of. And that really struck a chord with me, because I'm like, wow, I need to be doing a better job at pulling all of the amazing stories that even you guys have and sharing before and afters. We have hundreds of them. They're everywhere. And sharing each other and putting our stuff on the team page so people can grab it, because people will see the energy and what we're part of. So I learned something from Scotty, and this is a guy I talk to all the time. Like, we voice message and text this week, but I learned. There's the Monday memo of what's going on with this week. Everybody should have got that earlier this week in an email. What's going on in October? So right now we had the call with Josh Coates on October 10th. I will say the mentor accountability call that we're doing on the Wednesday nights, for those that are in it or were in it and not in it, we are changing the criteria to be in it. Kristen and I, pretty much it's going to be an invite-only group based on those people that we see are not just saying they're going to do the work, but actually having results and doing the work. It's not purely Success Club based. It's going to be on action and results overall. So that's going on. Next week, we will be away. Kristen and I and our awesome guest, Melanie Yoakum, one of our Diamond coaches, will be at the Leadership Retreat in Arizona, Scottsdale for 4 days. I'm excited about that. But the calendar is in the team website if you want to look at it, what's going on. I know a lot of us are doing 6 weeks of the work and can barely walk. And I think this week, Shannon realized, I saw on our team page, there's a workout coming, the Crucible. God knows, no pun intended with that, what that is about. I can only imagine. Push goals, 1-star diamond by the end of the year to be to the new leader conference. Elite coach, you have to be a 5-star with 2 new diamonds. You have to personally sponsor 2 new diamonds this year and hit 105 leadership points. And premier, you have to have 75 leadership points and be at least a 2-star, but you also have to have 2 new diamonds. All right, these are from September, our team volume all-star leaders, our final September team volume leaders. Congratulations to the all-stars of Caitlin, Julia, Teresa, Gina, Shannon, Elizabeth, Nicole, Maria, Joanna, Dana, Mary, Elizabeth, Argelise, Nick, Rebecca, Michelle, Megan, Thomas, Patrick, and Liza. And then our legends, again, to be as an all-star, it's 500 or higher team volume a month. And then our legends are people that had 1,000 or more team volume a month. We had Kristen leading the whole team, myself, Lindsay, Devin, Michelle, Melanie, Sharice, Laura, Liz, and Joan. So, guys, congratulations. So we are going to be doing a raffle with all the people in these 2 groups. And then our rising stars for October. These are ones already this month that are creeping up to hitting the 500 volume in October. We have Melanie, Lindsay, Devin, Maria, Gina, April, Nicole, Sharice, Cindy, Shannon, Mary, Kerry, Rebecca, Tyann, Joan, Jessica, Kristen, Elizabeth, Argelise, Griffin, and Nick. And then people that have hit it already with 500 or more, Kristen and some other weirdo. And then Success Club, people that hit Success Club this month in Success Club 10 and 5, I'll give a shout out to Kristen, Melanie, Michelle, Devin, Teresa, Liza, Heather, Maria, Argelise, Joan, Joanna, Michelle, Dana, Shannon, Lindsay, and Lance. Guys, I just want to tell you that number that you see in mine, 12, I want to share 2 things. Number one is it was the hardest month in years for me to hit Success Club. And I even used some of Kristen's help. I'm being honest. But I spoke to over 200 new people, and it makes me think of what Josh said. Because I thought with the launch of 6 Weeks of the Work, which is so my jam, that I started talking about it well before, every single day, with a lot of police officers, firemen, first responders, like my niche, I was going to crush it and be SC40 one month. And at the 20th of the month, the 21st, I had 0. And I will tell you right now, I have, I think, 4 points from people I spoke to last month, but I had to speak to over 200 new people. So guys, it's the urgency. For me, what's my big goal? I want to hit 100 months in a row in Success Club, and I'm at like 93 or 94. For some reason, like I just want triple digits. But I'm just letting you know it requires the work. I want to recognize Lori Mallory for hitting Emerald Coach. Congratulations to Lori. We have another Emerald to Tiffany. Congratulations to Tiffany for hitting Emerald. Shira. We have another Emerald to Sue Ellen Smith. Congratulations, Sue Ellen Smith. I love this. This is a big week, guys. Another Emerald to Maria. So congratulations, Maria. I think it's Joanna's coach. And that's that for recognition. Chris, do you want to do the raffle before we do the announcements? All right, Kristen's going to do the raffle at the very end, so stay on. What's new? Weekly mentorship call update. It's going to be an invite only, as I told you. Coach Summit will be in New Orleans in 2020, so excited about that. Make sure you got your ticket. We will all be there. Super Weekend is coming up, guys, in a couple of weeks. This is where there will be an event in every state in the country, in Canada, in UK, where coaches from your region are going to be playing that video that's coming out from corporate. A lot of times there's training, there's live workouts together with large groups. I will be somewhere in Connecticut. I have to look where I'm going to guest speak at their event with elite coach Shane Fryer invited me to be there at their event. So get to a Super Weekend event. It's only 3 times a year. That's it. Go to, if you look right here, if you go in your Coach Online office, right under breaking news, you can click to find an event in your area. This is where I pulled this screenshot from. A lot of times the events are on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Get to an event. 6 Weeks of the Work Super Trainer Launch Group has started, right? And also, guys, you all got the coupon code if you are an active coach. for $20 off 6 weeks of the work challenge pack, which is normally $170 for $150. But guys, pay attention. This is super important. I've had a couple people personally, if you have somebody that wants the all-access Beachbody On Demand Challenge Pack, but they don't want to do 6 weeks of the work, this is the thing. That regular challenge pack is $160. For an all-access Beachbody On Demand Challenge Pack is $160, does not include 6 weeks of the work. If you include 6 weeks of the work and you give them the coupon code for it, they're still going to get the all-access for the year, plus access to 6 weeks of the work for maybe somebody else or later on to use for $150, $10 less. So I have 2 people right now. I send out share cards. One of them is just starting to work out again. This is definitely not for them. They're getting this challenge pack because it's $150 and they're going to get everything else. She just realized, use that code for everybody. Okay? We're in 1 week into Beat Your Best Challenge. They're doing a huge promotion this month. Everybody should have got the email of what your top Success Club points were last year, as well as your top volume for the month. And they're giving out medals and awards if you beat your prior best numbers in terms of Success Club and volume. You should go to teambeachbody.com/beat-your-best for more info, right? To look into what it's about. So you want to have these benchmarks, guys, where you're looking at creating urgency. I love that one word that Josh said, right? So that's what Beat Your Best is going on. The new Getting Started onboarding system for new coaches, I shared that in the beginning. It's in the Coach Online office under the Training tab and then under Getting Started. But I pulled it from there and put it on one page on our website that's on our Team Perseverance page. If you have not went through it, even the veteran coaches, I sat through and watched the videos. Why? So I know when I sign up new coaches what they're going to see and get. I'm like, this is awesome. It's great. It's not complicating everything. Okay? And I think that's it. So I am going to stop the share and I'm going to have Kristen come over to do the raffles. We're doing 2. We're doing 2 $100 Amazon gift card raffles for the team volume people that had more than 500 volume in August and September. We're a month behind. I think it's because school started and we lost our way, but we're sticking to our word. So, Chrissy, I can unmute Kristen. I have to find where you are, babe. Hold on. Go ahead.
Hi, guys. Those of us that are going to do this Josh Coast thing, I'm like scared to death, but Melanie's making me do it. Who's going to do it? For real. All right. Some of us are like, eh. All right, so I have 2 hats here filled with names from, August and September? I don't know which one's which, but they're in there. So I'm going to pull them out. We apologize. We've owed these to you guys. But 2 winners, $100 Amazon gift cards. All right, are you guys ready? Don't be a wussy. She doesn't. Don't be a wuss. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. Here is the first winner. Thomas Chung. Yeah. Oh, Thomas. Woohoo! Nice work. Good job.
Man.
And if I'm not mistaken, Thomas, I think I saw your name twice in both months. That's pretty awesome. Okay, next one. Are we ready? And the lucky winner.
Another weighted vest for Tom.
What?
You can get another weighted vest.
All right, you ready?
East.
Okay. Nicole Clark!
Yeah, Nicole.
How fun!
Awesome.
So Thomas and Nicole, I'll message you guys and I'll email you your gift cards tomorrow. Awesome. Congratulations, guys. Good job.
Congrats.
Keep up the great work.
This call will be posted tomorrow, the recording. Otherwise, I know it's been an hour and 20 minutes. Thank you. I hope it's worth it. Guys, sign up for Josh's training. Do it. don't be, as Melanie said, don't be a wussy. All right? So, guys, have a great night. I love you guys. Love you, team. And good night. Bye-bye.